But the industry's moving very, very fast right now, in some amazing ways and some not so good ways. In the ways that I've feel that not so good is that there's still more and more hotels coming up quicker than we know what to do with, and they're not necessarily in line with current thinking and current ideas of the planet, because the average project can take 5 to 6 years or even longer from the day it's concepted to the day it's opened, and already the world moves on, particularly from a environmental and conservation and regenerative point of view, which is where my biggest concerns are. I'm not sure it's radical thinking because it's the hot topic of all the world, but obviously it's an area where our values as landscape architects and as an individual from a personal point of view is being challenged more and more, because obviously I chose a career in the greening of the planet, and I'm very passionate about travel as well, so tourism is something that you can see it's very much a part of my makeup. But there's a conundrum there, air miles against achieving sustainable destinations, and so the industry itself is having to look very hard about what it's becoming. I mean, there's some big facts that are very important here, which is more and more of the world are moving to cities. More and more mega cities will appear, and less and less people will be out in the wider environment, which in some respects is good, because actually if we can then start to look at regenerating the wider aspects of the planet whilst creating sustainable cities, then we're looking at tourism and hospitality from all that workforce want to go and visit the wider aspects of the planet, and how are we going to allow that to happen? Greening the cities is a whole other issue. I mean, the green wall technology is moving on so fast, which is wonderful. The more green we can get into our streets, the more the temperature is controlled, the more CO2 emissions are reduced. So it's an important cycle that is happening. There's a lot of, when you look in the press now, particularly on things like Instagram, there's a lot of new age ideas coming out of what green cities of the future should look like, and the technology's there, but this has to come hand in hand with everything, like transport, cars. We've just seen the government announce that they are looking to stop all petrol fueled and diesel fueled cars by 2035 now. It's not that far away, but I believe the technology's there. It might not be the electric car that we think it's going to be, so we've got 15 years, but the advancements are moving quick. So the rate of change, this is the point, the rate of change is very, very fast, and the construction industry itself, that's the point. The products that we build, they're not the products that are envisaged 5-6 years ago, always. So it's hard to keep up. What I'm really seeing is a general uncertainty about the product from the clients. And particularly, we do a lot of the hotels we do are there to sell residences. So branded residences are a massive aspect of the work we do. And of course, the more they build, the more they can make profit. But it comes to that thing: how much development can a land hold? And I think it's hard because I don't have the numbers to back this up, but I've always said, I say this a lot to clients, well, if you, rather than build 30 houses and there's no space between them, what if you built 15 houses and built them in a stunning, more natural landscape? Could you not sell them for more? There's more value to them and make the same or more profit. It's hard to test that if you've never done it, but there's a real visual value there to the properties. There's uncertainty about what's selling as well. So they don't know if it's going to be 3-bedroom homes or is it going to be apartments, where they're going to get. So there's a lot of confusion, I think, in what we're seeing. So there's a lot of challenge around that. But I think if we can convince the developers that we work for that ultimately the greening, the relationship to nature, the more environmentally conscious a project is, the more high value it will have. Particularly at the luxury end of the market, the requirement of the guest, what they want from their experience and their holiday is changing. Particularly the younger generation of money people, they're more aware. So because they've got money, they've got choice. And sustainability, experiential travel, conscious travel, what they get out of their leisure time is very important to them. So what they choose to do when they go on holiday, we have to meet that demand. And for me it's wonderful because what we're seeing is that type of traveller is looking for a more environmentally worthy, conscious, connected experience when they go away. And connection can mean so many things, right? Ultimately, for me, that means connection back to themselves. But that starts by connecting them, one, to nature, creating spaces where they can connect to others in a more environmentally friendly way, which is also the local community as well. So how do we engage them in the tourist experience? Sometimes that might even be the tourist working on a charity project as part of the experience of the resort, where they're working in the fields or they're protecting animals, or all of these things are happening in some of the most amazing places around the world right now, and I think that's only going to grow. And so for me, the more interesting challenge moving forward is that what does a hotel look like? And I really believe lighter footprint, to really get connected, to really connect out there into the most wild places. You want to be in the least developed place you can be. It might just be a very upmarket tent or a tree house with nobody else around you. And that's a different hotel challenge. But I think the discerning guest is wanting more and more of that.